someone in place testing this over and over again for the thumbnail issue especially. And like get Engmon to also test more. So I think we need to do a lot more of that internal testing without relying on everything from bug bashes either.
Yeah, so let's test again in tomorrow's bash. So for the thumbnail, both Android and iOS might need the client fix, which means that the earliest we could have the tester would be next Wednesday. So we need to get the fix in this version, which will be cut tomorrow.
Okay. So can you guys, look into addressing that? Because like next week, Tuesday was when we had set the date. I would like to ideally keep that.
Yeah.
You can like test and figure out if we can solve this one thumbnail issue.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We will go through the bug list and estimate the time.
Okay, yeah, that would be super helpful. Cool, thanks.
Thanks for testing today. Yeah.
Yeah,
See you
thanks.
guys later. Bye.
Hengi, do you want me to file a bug or you have the share login?
Yeah, could you file again? Because I think this might not be the same one with before.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll file the bug right now.
okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Bye.
Is expensive to do. However, chips are a little bit more valuable just because there are fewer options often available to you, or at least fewer good options, so it's probably rated a little bit higher than Bootstraps for me, but probably in the same tier. Next up is Burglar. When a blind is selected, gain +3 hands and lose all discards. Personally, I'm a huge fan of this because the +3 hands not only gives you more time to scale certain jokers, but also gives you an econ bonus because extra hands remaining at the end of a blind is more money for you. So in addition to being a way to scale up your jokers, it can also be an econ joker. There's certain builds that definitely don't want this, and it can have a tendency to fall off late once you need to get into more multiplicative point scoring options. So for those reasons, it's B tier, really solid in the right context, but probably needs to get out of your joker list at some point. Burnt Joker upgrades the level of the first discarded poker hand each round. Unfortunately, when you are playing higher stakes runs, you do lose some discards. So you, by default, have 2 discards. That means you're dedicating half of your discards to getting Burnt Joker value for something that, again, has diminishing returns. Now, that said, if you do get it early, it can help shape your run and push you towards those easily attainable hands. But it's probably going to be a card that gets out of your Joker roster a lot earlier than something even like a Burglar or a Blue Joker, just because once you've hit it a few times, that's probably a solid foundation and you need to get out and work towards something that's scoring you more immediate points. All that said, still a pretty good early pickup, and I put this in B tier if I can find it early. Business card gives played face cards a 1 in 2 chance to give $2 when scored. Econ jokers are important and helpful early, but do need to rotate out once you hit the interest cap or are approaching the interest cap and need to start focusing on points. However, it can give you some decent money, especially since face cards tend to want to be played, especially early to get you through rounds, so you can get some decent money off of this, but expect to move this out as soon as you get better point scoring options and you have your econ settled a little bit. That said, good early pickup for B tier. Cameo is our first legendary joker, which gains ×1 molt when a face card is destroyed. We talked earlier about how important it is to find multiplicative molt scaling, and while this isn't a reliable way to get there, it does increase faster than nearly any other multiplicative scaling option, and if you can find it, if you can hit the Hanged Man as well as other destroy effects, it can be the turbo nuts and carry you through the run. So for that reason, it's A tier. If you find it later, it might not have the capacity to pop off quite as much, or you may not find the pieces that make it pop off as much, but you're probably pretty happy to find it if you do. Similarly, Campfire gains ×0.5 molt for each card sold, but it does reset when the boss blind is defeated. This is a great pickup for nearly any deck late, because it allows you to leverage your early strength, which you turned into econ, into massive amounts of multiplicative scaling. And if your goal is just to complete the run, your last few shops can just be a spending spree where you buy, sell, and you can get this to a nutty multiplier that then allows you to just cruise through the final boss. Because of that, this is definitely an A tier for me. It's something that I underrated early on, but once I started picking it up, I just realized how crazy this card can get. Card Sharp is another joker that I underestimated in lower stakes runs. It gives you ×3 molt if played poker hand has already been played this round. Obviously, it has downsides against certain bosses, or if you're not playing towards those easily attainable hands, but because those are the most effective strategy I've found for beating gold stake runs, I'm always happy to pick this up. I'm often naturally playing repeat hands over the course of a round anyway. This gives you a little bit of time to scale up some of your other flat molt jokers if need be, while giving you a reliable multiplier through the course of the run. For that reason, A tier. Cartomancer gives you a tarot card when the blind is selected. Tarot cards are often extremely powerful. Obviously, you can't always get the one that you want, but most of them do something very good for you that gives you immediate point scoring options or allows you to shape your deck in a way that makes it better for the future. For that reason, getting tarot cards at the beginning of each round is a B tier joker for me. Falls off late, you want to get value out of it early and then move out of it like some of the other B tier jokers. Castle gives +3 chips per discarded card from a random suit, and the suit changes every round. Now again, in gold stake runs, you have two things working against Castle here. You have a smaller hand size, so you don't always hit the cards that you're looking for off of the discard, and you have fewer discards. So this is a little bit lower value, but still very good as a chip engine if you can get it early and start ramping it up. So once again, this is a B tier option. Unlike the other B tier options, you want to get this early and keep it in your deck, but it's probably not a pickup that you want down the line when you're getting to the later antes. Cavendish gives ×3 molt, but a 1 in 1,000 chance that this card is destroyed at the end of round. But the real downside here is that you do have to pick up the early Gross Michael in order to have this even available to you. So you need to carry a +15 molt, which is good, with the downside that it could disappear at some point, so you can't necessarily rely on it. So there is an actual downside other than the possibility that it gets destroyed, but if it does get destroyed, you do have this option. You just immediately add it to whatever run you're building towards because it takes your points to the moon. This is an easy S tier, even with a bit of effort required to get it even available to you. Ceremonial Dagger destroys the joker to the right and permanently adds double its sell value to the molt. Unfortunately, while this does give you flat molt scaling, it also requires that you play down a joker every round, essentially. So because of that, that's just not something that you can reliably do and simultaneously keep pace with the increased blind scaling. And this is one that I just skip in nearly every circumstance. Certificate adds a random playing card with a random seal to your hand at the beginning of the round. Random seal cards, not always going to be the best quality cards, but the seals themselves can provide you a lot of long-term value. So if you have an open joker slot and you need to either get money, tarot cards, or even point scoring off the red seals going, this could be a good option for that. That said, it's something that I do often want